Our Choral Classics concert this year features two works by two of the great composers for the voice, and for chorus in particular, George Friedrich Handel and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Occasionally, the Apollo Chorus does do another work by Handel in its season in addition to Messiah, which is nice because we would not want to forego these masterpieces by Handel just because we do Messiah. We did the Oratorio Solomon a few years ago, which was a great pleasure and rarely done. This year we're doing the Dettington Te Deum by Handel, which, as many Te Deum settings were, was done in celebration of a victory. The piece indeed starts with very bombastic and festive soundings of trumpets and drums. Te Deums in the history of the text have often been used for celebrations, for momentous occasions or milestones or anniversaries. It's the nature of the text. It is celebratory, it is comprehensive in reviewing the Christian faith. It gives many opportunities for a composer's gift at text setting and variety. Some Te Deums, the text can be presented in a relatively short amount of time, as short as 5 minutes. But in Handel's work, he takes each setting and portion of the text, and each mood, if you will, and they're very different, and gives them individual arias for alto, tenor, and baritone, choruses, fantastic choruses, and the combination of these various voices. So it's going to be a very festive piece to do, and it's nice that we do it too, because this is our 140th season. So in my thinking, this Te Deum is part of the celebration we have for the 140th anniversary. The nice thing is that we can extend that out just a little bit, and I still have aspirations of doing a little music from Bach's Cantata 140 before 2012 is done, because I think it's nice to do those sort of numerical observances. But the Handel will be a wonderful way to start our Choral Classics concert. The second work is Mozart's Requiem. This is a storied piece, of course, because it comes from 1791, in the very last half of that year, really, starting in July. And Mozart, at that time when he started it, really didn't have any inkling that his own mortality was impending. He received a commission from somebody who had commissioned him before, a count whose wife had passed away, and he was honoring her memory with several commissions, not just music, but of sculpture and painting. And he turned to Mozart for this Requiem. And it was, of course, important to Mozart to finish it, because he was in financial arrears constantly at this time, and his family, which now had 3 children, needed this money. And he worked very hard to finish it. However, illness did come upon him, and he was unable to complete the work. And we know precisely the 8 bars of Lacrimosa that he was able to complete. And then this place happens where the music continues, and it's been continued by a number of people. Many people have done their own completions of Mozart's Requiem, starting with his pupil and assistant, Franz Süssmayr, and a number of others have. But in my opinion, there isn't a more satisfying completion of the Requiem than Süssmayr's. And I find this for several reasons. One is he very wisely recalled Mozart's own music to conclude the Requiem, giving it a sense of completion and giving it a sense of the end of a journey. And this was a very astute thing for him to do, because you begin and end with music of exactly the same genius quality that we expect. Süssmayr's own contributions are of quality, and I don't think compromise our experience of the Requiem, despite what you may read over the decades of scholarly criticism. I think that they're fine pieces of music. And in general, he knew Mozart's style. He worked closely with him in completing the Opera Clemenza di Tito, and I really don't think in the course of musical history there's been a better individual to complete the Requiem. And I find it to be satisfying for the chorus and the audience. This concert will have an excellent contrast of light and dark, because as brilliant as the Handel is in terms of its color and shine, the Mozart is dark and a completely new style. When Mozart was thinking of this, he was thinking of the presentation of this work as a qualification for the Kapellmeister position at St. Stephen's Cathedral in Vienna, a job he very much wanted, if anything, for security. And what we see in this piece is almost a complete departure and new avenue for Mozart, which he surely would have continued had he lived. It is a dark scoring with low instruments and bassett clarinets and trombones, and no high register instruments to speak of, trumpets and timpani. And the choral movements are generally more austere, save for the flaming dies irae that literally is incandescent in its intensity. The music represents Mozart showing a new way and continues to be one of the greatest masterpieces ever written. Apollo has certainly performed it before, and we will continue to, I hope, for many years to come, because it's one of the immortal pieces that should be revisited. We look forward to presenting both of these works in two wonderful venues, the University of Chicago's Rockefeller Chapel at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, February 25th. What an amazing acoustic for this music. And the next day, February 26th, Sunday, at the Elmhurst Christian Reformed Church, a more modern but warm venue at 3 p.m. And both of these performances will be in collaboration with the Elmhurst Symphony Orchestra. This will be the fourth time that the two organizations have combined, and each time has been very satisfying, and I think given our audience real musical unity around great masterpieces.